All right, listen, I know a lot of you guys have been anticipating and anxiously waiting for this guide as much as I have been. As I've been trying to record this and script things out, I kept finding more and more dope things you can do with Tifa, and I'm excited to bring that to you guys in this video because, man, I've been waiting like 4 years to be able to talk about what Tifa's combat could be like in Rebirth, and now we actually can. We have Cloud's guide out right now. You guys can go check that out. Sephiroth as well if you're interested. And also, we have an aerial combat guide that went up yesterday. Feel free to check those out if you guys haven't yet. They'll give a lot more details on the other characters and mechanics that you might be interested in. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any other character guides. And I would like to know in the comments below, who do you guys want to see next? Now, with that being said, let's get into Tifa. Just for the sake of being transparent with you guys, I just spent an hour recording this Tifa guide, and now I'm looking back at the footage, and my stupid-ass capture card pixelated the shit out of everything. So I apologize in advance of the quality that you're about to see, but hey, at least you can tell people's cheeks are being clapped. Tifa is not very much different than what she was like in Final Fantasy VII Remake. There are some slight nerfs, but I think ultimately in the grand scheme of things, especially towards the end game, a lot of it will make sense and will have been worthwhile additions to the game. Her basic combo string is 4 square presses. You literally press square 4 times. It is this animation right here where that ends in a kick. Nothing too crazy, right? If you hold down square with Tifa, she actually will charge at an enemy, punch them once, and then go into the uppercut. See, right there. Whirling uppercut is also on triangle as well, but there's a reason for that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Her regular dodge is now the parry slide animation dodge. You do not need a materia to do this anymore. This is integrated directly into her character's base kit. And what's cool about it is you can still cancel animations with it. See, instead of waiting for this entire animation to play out before you land, you can literally do it and then go into another one over and over again. Very, very fast. That's building up a lot of ATB, and it's going to be even more amazing as we continue to play. Now, compared to Remake, the parry slide in Rebirth is much, much slower. Like, this is the fastest that you can do it. Can't do any, like, cancels with it to kind of, like, speed it up. So it's more balanced, honestly. But she was zooming all over the map with it, and it also dealt a little bit of damage to enemies, too. And while we're talking about dodges, Deadly Dodge is no longer a materia in this game. It's integrated into various characters' base kit. So for Tifa, once you dodge and press square, you can literally go into her Deadly Dodge kicks. You have to do it right in the first half of the animation of the slide in order for it to pop out. The reason why it's good is because it does build up ATB pretty quick. So let's go into here. It's just extra hits, right? There you go. 2 extra hits in between the combat, but we're just getting started. Honestly, massive W by Square Enix of doing that, so this way we can save and have more materia slots for other customization builds. So now, why is Tifa's whirling uppercut also on her square attack when it already has a dedicated triangle button? The reason for that is technically in this base state, Tifa is in what they call Chi level 1. She has an ability called Unbridled Strength. When you use it, it levels her up. So now she'll be in Chi level 2. And in Chi level 2, her triangle turns into Omni Strike. So if you press triangle, it'll obviously use Omni Strike, but most of the time, you're going to want to keep that until the enemy is staggered or to deal damage later. So to bypass that, you can just hold down square, and that's how you can get the uppercut. It's just another way to do it, because that also is the case in Chi level 2. You have Rise and Fall, and damn, they're killing the enemies really quick. And just to show you guys right here, while she's in Chi level 3, yes, yeah, it says Rise and Fall, but you could still whirling uppercut. But she deals more pressure and stagger damage. Let's talk about Tifa's abilities now. Her first ability, Unbridled Strength. This will level her up and go into Chi level 2. We already talked about this pretty much, and you see it has a new animation now, where like, if you're popping it off as an enemy is trying to hit you, it actually will pop them up, which is really cool. It's a nice defensive mechanic that is implemented into this character now, and I don't think that she had that in Remake. I don't believe she did have that in Remake. That's really cool. And while she's in a different Chi level, she not only does get access to 2 new attacks, longer combo strings and all that, she also has a crazy new dash animation, which is much faster. Like, enemies are unable to really catch her with this. I wouldn't say it's as fast as her parry animation in Remake, but it's still pretty quick. She can get away from most enemy attacks. Like you're seeing right here, a lot of them are missing it. They're not really hitting me. Now, while she's in Chi level 2, that's the Omni Strike variant right there, she actually gets access to more combo hits. So before, her combo string was only 4 square presses. You literally can do 6 now. and boom. She splits, and that's the end of that one. And now if you go into Chi level 3, she actually has a crazy long string where she splits, kicks them back down, and launches them up, and then punches them back to the ground. It is so satisfying. She had this in Remake. She still has it in this one. It's still really good, and just extends her combo hits to, I believe, 8 total. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 9 combo hits after that. So now while the enemy is staggered, Tifa's Rise and Fall will actually increase the stagger percentage. It does it by 20% there, and then Omni Strike will raise it by another 30. 210% is insane because this dive kick is going to instantly kill the Phoenix. Just wait until she gets True Strike again, guys. Tifa's going to be pushing the stagger percentages way over 300% on people like nothing. If Tifa has an enemy staggered and she's not in any chi levels at all, you can raise the stagger by just whirling uppercutting. It raises it by 5%, which is really good. And honestly, I'll show you a way how to like raise it even faster. Yeah, 5% isn't as much as obviously 50% being in Unbridled Strength, but there are moments you'll find yourselves not in any chi level whatsoever, and you'll have to work with what you got. All in all, if you're using all of that in general, Tifa is going to be bringing massive damage to the table of any team. Whichever team slot you have her in, she will be bringing in a lot of damage if you're using her right, especially for the stagger percentages. And of course, fingers crossed if True Strike is in the game. In Remake, Tifa had a very broken cancel that she could do where you would cancel Whirling Uppercut with Parry Slide, and obviously you can still do that in this game. It is still way too early in this game, and ATB bonuses are at 0% for everybody. As we get more levels in the game, as we get more equipment, ATB will be generating a lot quicker. So early on right now, it doesn't look as viable as it was in Remake, but obviously it has been nerfed and normalized, I guess. All right, let's get Tifa. Her ATB charge is empty, and let's see for ourselves just how much you could actually raise that to. So we got 1. It looks like it'll take 3 for 1 ATB. That's still not that bad. That's not that bad at all, actually, all things considered. But if you look at this menu right here, at the bottom of the stats, they actually have some new things in here. We got crit hit rate, crit hit damage, ATB charge bonus, which is currently at 0%. We honestly, right now, I don't think we have any way to increase that. That's probably going to be a skill tree thing or relating to various equipment that we can give to Tifa and other characters. So as the game progresses, as the full game drops, we'll be able to do that, and we'll see just how much more viable it is this time around. So even though it is aggressively early in this game's life cycle, there are currently 3 different ways you can cancel Whirling Uppercut to increase ATB. There's a standard way where you're just literally pressing triangle and then circle. This is the standard way that you used to be able to do it, but there is another way too. You can do triangle, circle, and then square back into another one, over again, and just loop it. I'm going to put combo notations of the button inputs on the screen just to make it a little bit easier for you guys, but that's essentially it right there. The reason why you would want to do that is because it kind of is faster than just doing this right here. It's 1 more button input, but it does build up ATB slightly faster. But of course, ATB charge bonus is at 0 right now. But there is a whole new way to cancel this, and I think it's probably going to be the best way. Shout outs to GBG Gamebreaker God on YouTube. That's my boy. He put out a Tifa video just messing around with combos with her, and he found a cool cancel. As soon as I saw what he was doing, I knew exactly. I haven't even talked to him yet about it. I saw what he was inputting, and I'm like, yo, this dude figured it out already. But if you literally just hold square, get that out. See what I'm doing right here? Oops, I messed it up right there. You're literally holding square, and as soon as the uppercut connects, you're tapping R1. You don't let Tifa go into the air, because if she goes into the air, you can't block with R1 to cancel the animation. So you literally do it this quick. I'm going to show you right now. If you go into air with her, you can't do it. You can also do this while you're in chi levels too with her. So essentially, you're literally holding down square. As soon as you see the animation for the uppercut go through, you let go and you press block. Man, shout outs again to GBG. You guys, make sure to go follow him on YouTube. He does all kinds of crazy combo breaking tips, mechanics, and awesome guides. His bread and butter is God of War content, but he also plays all of your favorite games and breaks them in the process. Literally, his name is the truth. There is a bit of a rhythm to it. Once you figure it out, you'll honestly be able to pull it off And I think you could honestly... Oh yeah, you can cancel it without landing a hit. Okay, sorry, I misspoke there, chat. You actually can practice it like this. Is Tifa still broken in FF7 Rebirth? Yeah, goddamn right. Now, continuing with Tifa's abilities, I realize I squeeze Whirling Uppercut cancels into that segment, but trust me, it is an ability. Don't listen to what everybody else is trying to tell you. Whirling Uppercut cancels are amazing and Tifa's bread and butter. So let's talk about Dive Kick. Dive Kick is one of her strongest attacks, honestly, equal to Braver, but in my opinion, it kind of sucks that you can't use it from the air in this game. You can use it on the ground, and it deals massive damage. It's a very hard-hitting hit, but the only way to use it from the air is after a Whirling Uppercut animation. You literally and it will honestly kill most enemies in one shot, especially if an enemy is staggered. They are dying once that Dive Kick lands on them. You literally just press triangle and go into Dive Kick. I did not want to do that. She just can't help herself, right? While she's in the air, she unfortunately cannot Dive Kick. She has to land and then do it. The only way is off of a Whirling Uppercut. I know, missed opportunity there, but it's probably because they didn't want to make it too broken and function just like Braver, because Braver is stronger in the air and can be used from the ground or air. And now for Tifa's Focus Strike ability. Focus Strike is honestly my favorite move in Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's not broken as much as it was before. Previously in Remake, on landing a hit with this, it will actually refund 2/3 of an ATB back to Tifa. So essentially, if you got her at full ATBs and you just kept using this, you could spam probably 6 or 7, probably even 8 Focus Strikes back to back of each other because of how much it would refund. Now in Rebirth, you'll see on hit, and I'll just do it this way to show you guys, it doesn't refund anything. The only time it'll refund ATB is if you dodge an enemy attack with it. See right there? I was able to get one. Procs off of regular basic attacks and also red enemy abilities. And projectiles too. Look at that. Refunded us back an entire ATB. So in a way, it still has a pretty crazy utility. You can't just unga bunga with it anymore. There actually has to be a calculated risk involved with it, which I do like because we can actually manipulate a lot of fights with that too. Yep. Procced again off of a projectile. And also for Tifa, Focus Strike can be used in the air. You could totally use that to keep enemies in the air, pressure them. If they fall a little too low like that, you will miss, but you could absolutely use that in the air. It's a great move to just build up pressure in general. Now, just wanted to show you guys and be transparent. Focus attacks exist across Cloud, Barret, and Tifa. Cloud's Focus Thrust, Barret is Focus Shot, and Tifa has a Focus Strike. These attacks will greatly increase stagger when enemies are in the pressured state. That's when you want to use these moves, is when enemies are pressured. You don't want to use it to deal damage. You can deal crazy damage with it, but you want to ideally use it when an enemy is in a pressured state because it will greatly increase and boost them almost instantly into stagger. And also, you can still cancel the animation. Because if you don't see that right there, you can just do that and then go immediately into another attack if you want to. If you don't cancel the animation, Tifa will literally have to land before she could do an attack, and it's just a lot slower. Trust me, canceling it immediately with a dodge is the best way to use Focus Strike. Besides the Focus Strike, Focus Thrust, and Focus Shot attacks dealing a lot of pressure, magic attacks can also deal a lot of pressure damage and increase stagger as well. Talking about ice and fire mostly, arrow can too, but lightning is not great at increasing pressure. It's good at putting them in a pressured state, but it doesn't deal a lot of stagger like bar increase. Tifa has a new ability in Rebirth for this demo. It's called Reverse Gale. It's her only new move. Every character in this demo has one new move. But it's actually, if you look on the bottom left, there's a diagonal arrow pointing upwards. It's a launcher ability, which means if you use this on a grounded state, it will take enemies into the air. So this is another way Tifa can actually get into the air, but it does cost 1 ATB, and I'll show you guys right here. She casts Wind Magic, and it takes the enemy up with her, and she could stay in the air if she wanted to, just like how Cloud can. Now let's go back in the air. If you use Reverse Gale while in the air, it actually does the opposite thing. It'll pull enemies in, but it knocks them back down, and Tifa goes down with them. He died, actually, but she slams down her fist, and it's pretty crazy. And while we're on the subject of aerial abilities, I forgot to mention that Whirling Uppercut actually does have an aerial animation. It is a dive punch right there. Like, she'll dive down and do a big damage to enemies. And it also does increase stagger as well by 5%. So keep that in mind. If you are in the air with Tifa and an enemy does get staggered, you can press triangle to land back down on top of them and deal 5% increase to their stagger percentage. And you guys might have already guessed it, and I talked about it in our previous aerial guide video, but Tifa can actually get into the air for free with every character, essentially. Every single character can launch her up. Cloud, Barret, Aerith, Red, and I'm pretty sure this also is true with Yuffie in them. Whoever else is going to be playable with her, Kate Sith. She can use Soaring Flurry, which will launch enemies up this way. Oops, you got to keep punching, though, if you want to stay in the air. You actually don't even have to hit an enemy. Look at that. You can just stay in the air like that. And the one with Barret is more of an uppercut that also takes up enemies, too. Right there. Leaves you a little bit closer to them. The one with Cloud kind of just like launches you towards the enemy. Keep forgetting to keep mashing it, but that's how you stay in the air. You just got to keep on mashing it. While we're talking about air combat, if she's in She level 2, check out her air combos. She has a lot, and she actually slams the enemies back down. Damn it, Cloud, you kind of ruined it right there. I was trying to show some cool shit. Oh my god. I promise you, she knocks them down. Cloud is just hogging all the sauce right now. Jeez. Not every enemy can be taken up in the air by Tifa. It's usually smaller to mid-sized enemies that can be juggled and taken up into the air and held hostage. Put them in air jail, literally. Like this wolf enemy right here. She can't launch him unless he is pressured. This enemy will not go into the air unless it is pressured. And we'll try to get it pressured real quick. So right here, now that he's pressured, we actually can take him up in the air. And this is the case for a lot of enemies, guys. And there you go, 5% increase with Whirling Uppercut. What's also really cool is even though both of these synergy skills technically do have an offensive focus, you could help out Tifa and, well, the rest of the team dodge enemy attacks by using them. So see, I just brought Barret over here. So he's all the way across, but as soon as you use it, it'll teleport him over to you, which is kind of funny. I could do the same thing with Cloud. It doesn't matter where you are. Like in the battlefield, you just pull them away out of battle. Boom. See, Cloud wasn't able to get hit right there. Keep this in mind if an enemy's doing a big attack and you're worried that one of your characters is standing far away and they're going to get hit over some dumb shit. You could just call them back over here. Such a good quality of life thing. Yuffie and Sonon could also do this. It was simple though. It was just you tap L2 and wherever Yuffie is, Sonon will come towards her. So if Yuffie's in no danger, Sonon will be good too. Now for synergy abilities. Tifa only has 2 in the demo, Relentless Rush with Cloud and Divine Punishment with Aerith. And both of these require 3 of those ATB charges underneath their full ATB bar. How do you get those ATB charges? Well, you have to use ATB. As soon as you use ATB, it'll build up 1 charge. So for the sake of this, I am just going to build them up and show you guys. So now that the characters have 3 each, I'll show you guys. So Relentless Rush, you could tell from the little hourglass right there. What it basically does is if you use it on a staggered foe, it will increase the potency of the damage you deal to them and also extend the stagger time. So it'll make stagger last a lot longer. Divine Punishment with Aerith will make it so that they use an AoE attack, and it's actually pretty cool. I'll show you the animation here. This actually hits multiple people that are in and around there. Ends with a big bang right there. And from that, it actually puts a line next to Tifa and Aerith's name. And what those lines next to Tifa and Aerith's name let them do is use their level 2 limit breaks. So for Tifa, she'll have access to Dolphin Flurry, and for Aerith, she'll have access to Planet's Protection. See, now Tifa has Dolphin Flurry. You could actually use it in the demo. Let's see what it looks like now. I'm pretty sure it'll have the same animation. This wacky, crazy-ass animation. Bow! Hilarious big damage. Now guys, in Final Fantasy VII, you could utilize any character however you want. That's the beautiful thing about this battle system. The same way it was in the 90s, it is very similar to the case now. If you wanted to use Tifa with only magic spells and make her a mage, you totally can. But I personally like to utilize her for her strengths, and that is her strength. Her quick speed and also ATB funding capabilities to other players. And also clapping the hell out of enemies. The game plan for Tifa is to spend ATB as fast as you can because she can regain it back very quickly. I'll go all up in battles, uppercut into dive kicks to delete enemies and even pressure them to now focus strike cancel as much as I can to stagger them. In the full game, we're going to have more materia, more slots, so we can actually test it out and make her the battery again. In Remake, you could use ATB assist materia to make Tifa feed ATB to the other party members, and it was a really addicting thing about the gameplay that I loved. Since we're using ATB a lot on Tifa, you want to put synergy materia and pair it with a magic attack on a fellow teammate, whoever you want. I personally pick Aerith because she has the strongest magic attack. So this way, every time Tifa will use an ability, which is a lot, Aerith and whoever has synergy will be spamming non-stop damage with their level 1 spells. And of course, when enemies are staggered, whether you're in Chi level 2 or 3, you spend that Omni Strike and Rise and Fall to raise their percentages. But even so, I like to Whirling Uppercut into dive kicks with her to bring on big damage while raising the enemy's stagger too. But if you pre-plan in a fight and get her into Chi level 3, it's going to be insane when they finally get pressured. And now guys, this was supposed to be a very simple guide on her moves and how to use her, but as I kept playing her, as I kept recording and doing things, writing the script out, I kept finding more and more amazing things that you could do with the character. And this is just supposed to be the beginner guide, but I wanted to do a little bit more than just show you guys what each individual ability does. I want to go into a little bit more detail on how you can learn to eventually maximize the damage output that this character can do, because there's a lot of fun things that she could do in Remake that she still can do in this game. And I'm confident that when we get to the full game portions of we have our full equipment and end game accessories, we can totally still break the hell out of everything with her. Cloud guide is already up, aerial combat is up, as well as the Sephiroth guide, and now Tifa is finally here. Comment below, who do you guys want to see next? Please, let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way and you don't want to miss them. We got a lot of guides coming your way, guys. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.